Namaskar. There is an intellectual giant by the name of Rahul Sankrityayan, who was born on 9th of April 1893 and died on 14th April 1963, the day Ambedkar was born. He was born in the district of Azamgarh in Uttar Pradesh, and I had the chance to visit 4 schools in the village and its vicinity where Rahul Sankrityayan was born. The village is called Pandaha. I had the opportunity of visiting the primary school of Pandaha and the middle school there, and then the primary school in Ranika Sarai. When Rahul was a child, the primary school in the village hadn't yet started, so he went to the primary school in Ranika Sarai, which is a bigger place close to the Azamgarh city, and then he went to the middle school that is for his classes 6 to 8 in Nizamabad, and that is the 4th school that I visited that day. And I interacted with the children of these schools. We were essentially trying to communicate the message of Rahul Sankrityayan, and I introduced the book called Baisvi Sadi, 22nd century. This is a book written by Rahul Sankrityayan and is a wonderful imagination of the kind of world that we would like to see in the future. It's an ideal world where all class, caste, religious, gender discriminations have vanished. People enjoy the same kind of socio-economic status. The names are similar to the names that we use today. People are of different religion, but nobody is going to any religious institution for worshipping. There are no religious events. People are living in villages. Yes, the difference between the city and the village has also vanished. There are villages which have the responsibility to produce material items. They are engaged in some activity, and every village is producing one item, and children have to study from the age of 3 years to 20 years, and at the end of 17 years of education they decide where they would live, in which village, depending on what vocation they would like to choose. People who are interested in higher studies, they continue their higher studies and go into the field of research. But most of the people at the completion of 17 years of their education go to a village of their choice depending on what vocation they like. The concept of private property has vanished. All the land belongs to the government, is owned by the community, and the community uses the land and the natural resources of their village for the production of some material item, and the material items are exchanged according to the needs of each village by an efficient transportation system, which is a network of railways. And there are the differences between the governments have also vanished. There is a world government. Now Rahul is imagining a world in 2124. So the story of the book is that he goes to a cave in Nepal and falls unconscious in 1924. That is when the book is written. And when he wakes up, or when he regains consciousness, 200 years have passed. So he wakes up in 2124 and then travels in the area on foot and sees and meets people, goes to the institution where he used to teach at Nalanda in Bihar and is welcomed there, and he narrates the experience of the world in 2024. He assumes that there is a world government. The world government is headed by a president from India, prime minister from Russia, the headquarters is in Brazil, and all differences between the nations have vanished. There are no armies, and even the police is not there. Police stations have vanished. There are, of course, disputes. If you imagine, if there is no concept of private property, then more than half our disputes would vanish, because most of the court cases that are going on in our courts are civil matters, are related to property, land. And when the private ownership of property would not be there, then obviously there will be no disputes between people when the resources will be owned by the community. So it is a wonderful concept, which Rahul Sankrityayan has imagined, and the police stations have vanished. People, because they are educated, because they are wise, they don't quarrel, and even if there are some minor disputes, they are taken care of by the community with the help of part-time police. The police is called only when it is necessary, and there are people who are volunteering for the police services. So this is an imagination of Rahul Sankrityayan. Now it is very relevant at a time when there seems to be a dominance of sectarian ideologies throughout the world, whether it is India or whether it is Hungary or Turkey or United States. We see proliferation of sectarian ideology, where countries and the heads of the country are worried about only their own country and are treating the other countries as enemies. A good example is how Donald Trump is imposing tariff on different countries and has created virtually a pandemonium. So the ideology or the imagination of Rahul Sankrityayan becomes very relevant at this time, when there is a lot of discord and strife between different countries in the world. There are at least 2 wars going on between Russia and Ukraine, and Israel and Gaza, and a third one is a civil war going on in Sudan. At a time like this, when the world feels very insecure because of the strife and the conflicts and the wars, Rahul Sankrityayan's 22nd century comes as a big relief, because he offers a vision of a peaceful society, of a society where people live in harmony with each other, where families work together and work for the common benefit of the human society, and they respect each other. All kinds of discriminations have vanished. People respect each other as individuals. There is no poverty, there is no misery, and it is a happy world. So now the question is that some people might say that this is utopia, and why should we believe it? Why should we think that such a world is possible? Rahul Sankrityayan, when he wrote this book in 1924, imagines that in the world 200 years later, in 2021-24, there will be telephones where you will be able to see the picture of the people, of the person you are talking to. And in 1924, nobody would have even imagined that we would have the kind of mobile phones that we have today. And you can make WhatsApp call and you can see the people you are talking to. He imagined that there would be swings which will take you from one floor to the other floor in a multi-storied building. Nobody would have thought in 1924 that there would be lifts which would take us up and down in multi-storied buildings. So there are some predictions of Rahul Sankrityayan which have come true even within 100 years of writing of his book on 22nd century. So even though things like mobile phone and lifts are material things, and it is a material development, and obviously we have developed materially very well. We have all kinds of conveniences and facilities available to us in a modern world, and if we have the money to buy them. But about the human society, about the nature of human beings, obviously we cannot make predictions in the same way as we can about material world. But we hope that because Rahul Sankrityayan's prophecies, some of them have come true within 100 years of writing of his book, we only hope that the other part of the human society, which is the consciousness, would develop to a level where we would truly have an ideal society in which people live in harmony with each other, in which there are no discriminations, no inequalities, no discord, and it is a happy world. So with this hope, we remember Rahul Sankrityayan, the great intellectual who brought Buddhist literature which had vanished from India. It got burnt in the library of Nalanda. He went to Tibet, and on his 4 trips on foot, he brought all this material back on mules, which is kept in the Patna Museum, and the government of Bihar is transferring it to a private museum now, over which some of us, including the daughter of Rahul Sankrityayan, Jaya Parhok, who lives in Dehradun, is also protesting. We hope that more importantly, Rahul Sankrityayan's vision of 22nd century would be realized sooner than later. Thank you.